how do you go from being a top staffer and aide to Republicans up on Capitol Hill to in Ukraine on day 5 of the war and working there? How did you end up there? And how did you end up in this most unexpected and really important places in the world?
I've been to 5 war zones, 6 if you include Congress, and so I actually was working as a government relations executive in an artificial intelligence firm and I left that company. So I'll back up a little bit. So I lived in Ukraine for a year, 2018, 2019. Loved it. It's a great place. The people are just super friendly. They're about as pro-American as any country that I've ever been to. And this was before we sent them a lot of weapons. And what I like about Ukraine, what I like about the Ukrainians is they remind me of everything I love about America. They're entrepreneurial, they are hardworking, they love freedom. I mean, like, they Russians come in and they're like, no, you're not taking over us. And so it just was a great place to be. And um then I left and I got a job with an artificial intelligence company that had about 500 Ukrainian employees. So I had all these Ukrainian friends. And on January 31st of 2022, I left the artificial intelligence startup. It was just time, you're 2.5 years in a startup hamster wheel. And, uh, and I'm trying to make really weighty decisions about what to do with my life. Like, am I going to spend the rest of the winter skiing in the Alps or skiing in the Rockies? And then my friends from Ukraine started calling and saying things like, they're bombing Kyiv. I don't know what to do. And I had spent nearly 2 years in Iraq at the beginning of that war as a civilian. I worked for an NGO there, and I knew what to do. So I hopped on a plane and flew into Bucharest, drove to the Ukrainian border, and ended up in a small city called Chernivtsi, and started trying to get people out. And at the time, we thought it was going to be a big refugee crisis, like everyone else in the world. We thought the Russians were going to roll through in about 3 weeks, and they didn't. So I stayed.